We're going to first score this with a Dremel, the axle nut, so it's easier to pound out the indent into the channel. Now I'm using a large nail to pound out the indent. That looks pretty good. Okay. Now, hold on. Okay, give it a shot. Okay, very good. Now we want to wind this. Here's the score. And you can see the collar is pretty round. The bottom bolts that hold the lower ball joint in are all 17 millimeter. So, here we go. You have two nuts and a bolt that hold the lower ball joint to the lower frame, part. Now the axle is pretty mobile, so you can pull it right out. And once you get it out, you support it up with wire and temporarily put the lower ball joint back together. One thing you might want to do is pop out the stainless ring from the back. I've already loosened this. I haven't removed the wheel sensors when I did the left side, and I didn't bother to remove it when I did this side either. And I haven't had a problem with that, but the manual tells you to take it out. Also, the other thing, if you don't connect this down here, it'll make it easier for you to get at, and then you can get the 4 bolts that hold the wheel bearing hub on. I'm going to try heating this with a map torch for a while, and then after I've done heating it, I'll try feeding it with a cold chisel to see if I can get it to rotate a little bit. I don't expect the chisel to make any difference, but I want to give it a shot. Let's see. I don't think it's budging. Okay, so now I'm going to try the slide hammer, and it'll probably pull the center out and leave the outside. Let me set that up. I've used one of these before for pulling the hub on the BMW, but this particular one doesn't work on a Toyota. So I'm going to use this puller that pushes in from behind, and we'll see what happens with this. And then I attach this to this. Let me give that a shot. Hold on. I'm not sure if this will pull the center out or not, but we'll see what happens. Hold on. Okay, the slide hammer, it's not as much fun as you think, so I'm trying to speed it up a little bit with a mini sled. making progress. Let's see. Lost a stud. Okay, let's see. Let's try here. How about here, right here? And let's see. Get that out of there. Let's try it here. See it coming. Let's try this. Oh, there we go. Damn. That's what it looks like. Let me get a sock. Okay. The last time I did this, I pulled out these bearings and I used a Dremel to cut a track to take the pressure off. Now, let's see. It's amazing, your bearing can make some pretty loud noise without showing much of a problem when you take it apart. I assume these little dents are from me bashing it. Those little guys there. Right here in the race where the bearings run around, there's no score, but this thing was howling, so it is what it is. So I'll pull these out, and then I'll start doing the Dremel bit. This is one side of the inner race, and see this curve? This should be bright and shiny, just like this curve. And so, obviously, the inner side was really, really failing, and that's why it was howling. The first time I did one of these, I cut a groove with a Dremel, running a Dremel disc in and out, until it was grooved down far enough that it took the pressure off this to get it out. This time, I'm going to beat on it a while to see if I can get this to rotate. And if I can get it to rotate a little bit, I can thread a bolt in from this side and push it off. But I imagine I'll be back to using the roto tool. Well, pounding with a cold chisel and this hammer, going this way, well, this way and this way, made no difference. The hub is laughing at me. So now I'm going to go back to the Dremel method, and I'm not going to record all of this, but this is essentially what I do. I make a little channel with a rotary tool. There's the start of it, and I'll keep track of the time and tell you how long this took. I did about an hour and maybe 45 minutes of Dremeling or rotary tooling. I first used a right angle grinder and made a notch in the face of it. And then I used my Dremel, which had been dying before I started this project. You have to smack it to make it go. I started out with this, and then I switched over to a Harbor Freight rotary tool that cost 20 bucks after you used your 20% off coupon. And it worked. This is the size discs I was using. I use the little ones. Actually, what size are they? They're, doesn't say. They're little Dremel discs. And if you use a smaller disc, it's able to make a smaller notch. It goes a little quicker. And so after I dremeled it for quite a while, or like I said, an hour and 45 minutes, then I used my hammer and my cold chisel and I beat it over a little bit until these bolts weren't aligned with their holes. And now I'm using the bolts to pull it out. Let's see. I recommend replacing the dust shield if you've got the time to wait for one to come in. And this is from the outside, and you can see this is the little path that there's where I did the face of it. And you can see this is how much my little Dremel wheels cut through. And let's see, this is backwards, and this would be, you know, in towards the car, but that's essentially what it looks like. And now I can clean this up. Notice all this metal that is stuck to the sensor. I don't take the sensors out, like I said before. Haven't had a problem with that, but of course now I got to blast it with compressed air. Okay, so I'm going to take a film break and continue. I'm putting some Loctite on the bolts that hold the hub on. And according to the Bentley manual, these get torqued down to 41 pounds. Before I put the hub in, I use the rotary tool and a collar to clean the crap out of the hub, because there's all that galvanic reaction between the cast iron of the hub and the aluminum alloy knuckle. I've got the bottom bolts still, I took them back out, that hold the lower ball joint, so that I can try putting in the axle now. So we're going to pry this apart. And don't forget to put your stainless dust shield in before you do this part. On the back side, I use a 2x4. You can actually see the circle from the dust ring, and I tap it in thusly. And so now the axle's back in, and all we have to do now is put our bolts there. We go. And now we're almost home free. Now, if you're going to leave this on the car, the steering knuckle, all you have to do is take out the two nuts and the one bolt to hold the lower ball joint on. I would skip using the torch. I just want to try that, see what would happen. But this car has 185,000 miles and it's in the Northeast, so there's a lot of galvanic corrosion going on there. And it's practically welded in place. So I would go straight to using your cold chisel, see if you can get it to move at all, or an air hammer if you have one. And if that doesn't work and you still want to leave it on the car, I'd pull the center out with the slide hammer and cut the hub. It works. Thanks for watching.